Today I've got 12 useful 3D prints for ham radio to show you. My name is Mike, K8MRD. You're watching Ham Radio Tube. Now before we get started, I always like to give credit where credit is due, so I'd like to give a big thank you to all the creators who took the time to not only think of these designs, but actually to design them and make them publicly available on all the different 3D printing websites for us to download and use freely. Thank you very much, creators. I will leave links to everything in this video in the description, and if you would be so kind, just drop a comment saying thank you to all the creators that make our lives wonderful in the 3D printing universe. On with the show. These first 6 on this list come from my good friend Adam, K6ARK, and I want to show this guy first. This is the K6ARK Pico paddle. This is a replacement for the Palm Pico paddle that you can 3D print and make very, very easily. You simply connect the jack, thusly pop it out. It's friction fit. You've got your paddles done and done. You can pull them back in, stays in there. On the bottom, you have a removable bottom plate where this can actually accept magnets. You can kind of see where the little holes are there. You can pop those out. They're designed to be popped out, and you can insert magnets in there so you can stick it to your radio and do CW that way. I've opted to add my call sign on there just in Bamboo Studio. I did print all of these with PETG, by the way, just so everybody knows. This is very, very simple to make. It's just a few parts. The cap comes off. Let me pop out the paddles here. It's all just a plastic key. Now when you print this, these arms are gonna be wide. So in the instructions, Adam recommends bending them back and forth 40 to 50 times, which seems excessive, but it's not. It's all PETG, it's flexible. So I just bent these back and forth 50 times actually to get like this tiny little spot right there is basically the spring, if you will, to give you the tension. So he's got all the parts on printables where you can find all of K6ARK's stuff. So he's got links to the jack, and he's got links to the little screws you need. There's also a screw in the center there. And you can get small wire if you want, but I didn't have any really small wire, so I actually just took some 14 gauge stranded wire and took one strand out, and that's how I was able to make the connection. So you just solder to the positive and negative terminal of the TRS jack, insert them in this hole, and then I actually stuck the wire out where the screw goes, screwed the screw in, and then you can just kind of bend the wire and it breaks off, and you may or may not be able to see the wire right there sticking out where the screw is, and then it just goes right back in. Thusly, put the cap back on, and you can pop it out, and there's even holes here where you can adjust the screws for your likening for how far or close you like your spacing. Fantastic little 3D printed CW key from K6ARK. Next from K6ARK, we have these tiny little 3D printed S-beaners. And these are absolutely perfect. I'm always looking for small S-beaners to make my linked end-fed antennas. Yes, I have metal ones, but they're very, very hard to find. These are 1 inch, but these are just 3D printed, PETG. So here is my Pactena linked end-fed half-wave, and I put these little S-beaners on there. I'm gonna make a few linked end-fed half-waves with these, but this is my main one, and they're actually pretty darn strong. I'm putting quite a bit of tension on here, and they're not breaking. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems out in the field with these. Now the way these are gonna print on your bed, you have to kind of do a little bit of manipulating, but they're gonna print just like that, where these little flappy things are on the outside. All you gotta do is just kind of twist the S-beaner into place, and they snap right in it just like that. And now you have as many little S-beaners as you want. They print very, very fast, and they're surprisingly strong. Again, PETG for the win. Next from K6ARK, if you have a QMX, a QCX, a QDX, you know that they come with these knobs, and while they work just fine, maybe we want a little bit of an upgrade. So Adam has designed a new little volume knob and a little VFO knob here. that you can add to your QMX. So you've got just a bit easier way to tune your VFO. You get a little bit better grip on the volume knob. You still get the pushy functions. Now you do need to purchase different screws that fit in here. The screws that go in the stock knobs do not fit in here. Adam has links on his printables site on where you download these to buy the screws. Not very expensive, so a cool way to upgrade your QMX. And if you put this in the right configuration, we saw this cover the last time we did a 3D printing video, it still fits with that cover on. So cool little upgrade for your QRP Labs QMX, QDX, or QCX. Next from K6ARK, we've got just this very handy, tiny little lightweight wire winder. Everybody's got extra wire laying around. For all of us QRP guys that try to keep everything as light as possible, you got a little bit of extra wire. Maybe you took some wire off of your linked end-fed half wave or your linked dipole, whatever. This is 26 gauge poly stealth. You could use the 26 gauge soda beams wire, any small wire, lightweight wire that we're using for QRP stuff. You got just a cool little lightweight wire winder, not a lot of filler in there at all, mostly hollow voids to keep the weight down because as we know, ounces are pounds. So just a cool little wire winder from K6ARK. Next we have this K6ARK antenna wire that will hold, there's a version for a BNC female, which is this one, and there's also a version for a BNC male. So here is my K6ARK 49:1 end-fed half wave, and you just snap the BNC in there, and then you can wind your wire all the way up on here. And when you're all done winding, you take some of this Velcro strap, Velcro it all up, and there you have, this is a 40-meter end-fed half wave with 26 gauge soda beams wire on there. Just like that, all nice and contained perfectly. What a cool design from K6ARK. Last on our list from K6ARK, we have the K6ARK mini microphone. This is what I use for my QMX, but this works with several different radios. The QMX, I think this works with the Elecraft KX2, KX3, the ZBitX, several different radios, depending on how you wire this. So very, very small, lightweight. I mean, look at that. It's as big as it's smaller than my pinky. Look at that. Can't even hold on to it. So really cool microphone. Just plug in your TRS cable into the microphone, plug the other end into the QMX, and there's your little PTT button, your microphone. Fantastic. I have made many a contact with this on my QMX. Very easy to make. You got to have, there are some small wires in here you got to make happen, but very, very cool. Again, links for all the parts are on the printables page for this microphone. So awesome. Thanks, Adam, for designing all this stuff. Next on our list, coming from the Bloodman, this can be found on Maker World. This is the Just OK Mini Antenna Travel Case. So if you have a Just OK Mini antenna from Ham Radio Duo and you want to have a little travel case, check this out. You got a little cap. You've got this case here that's going to house the telescopic whip. Zoom out a little bit for you there. We can pack our counterpoise wire in here. We also have the Just OK Mini antenna, just to keep it nice and protected, because this is 3D printed, especially for travel. Things get knocked around. Very, very cool. He printed this with, I think, ABS or maybe ASA, and I printed this with PETG. It works just fine. So you slide the antenna in there. You can slide your counterpoise in there. Got to use a little bit of force, kind of cram it in there. That's okay. And then we put the whip back in, throw the cap on, and now we have a nice protective case for our Just OK Mini antenna. How cool is that? Coming up next from Thingiverse by Electro Alex 26, something I have been using for years. These are the Anderson power pole housings that I use on all of my battery boxes to put my Anderson power poles on. They 3D print with two different parts. You have the nut and then you have the housing itself. He calls these power pole mounts. You can search for on Thingiverse, but again, links in the description. And these are really, really awesome. They have a little hole right there that you can stick. I actually just stick some wire This is some plastic coated wire that I got from Ace Hardware that you just stick. Once you have the power poles in there, I'll just slide some of this wire in, trim it to fit, and then you can put the cap back on and it'll cover up the wire so the power poles don't come out there. So they come in multiple different lengths. There's one that has like a notch on it on the inside, so if you want to kind of key it into whatever you're building there, I just use these. These are the shorter ones and the simple nut. There's also a single power pole housing that you can get, so very, very cool, very, very useful. Save a lot of money. If you're building battery boxes, you know, you go to like PowerWorks, these things are like 26 bucks just for the housing. For a few cents of filament, you can print as many of these darn things as you want. So I have made a lot of battery boxes, and these are on every single one of them. Highly, highly recommend. Coming up next on printables by Alleycat, these are the Seed Studio T1000 holsters, and these are frickin' awesome. So I'm lumping two of these in one because they're two different styles. So I saw these and I fell in love with them because I'm a kid of the 90s, and everyone in the 90s had the Bravo Express pager, and this reminded me of that. So I made two of these because one of these is for Meshtastic, one of these is for Mesh Core, and it's just a holster, right? Okay, slide it in and out. On the back, these are designed to use a Baofeng holster clip. You can find these on Amazon, very, very inexpensive. You do need to buy special screws, and these screws you cannot find at any hardware store in Huntsville, Texas. So she does have a link to Amazon where you can buy these. You'll need a screw and a nut. They're like 2.5 millimeter by something. I don't know what the size is, but they were very hard to get other than on Amazon. So I printed one, and then I added in my Bamboo Studio slicer, I made this one say Meshtastic. I'm gonna put my call sign on that. This one I have for Mesh Core and my call sign, so if I drop it, somebody knows whose it is. I will note that when I'm carrying these, I will actually flip it around, so I put the button on the inside so I don't accidentally hit the button for any reason there. So these are cool. Put them in your pocket just like you did in the 90s with your Bravo Express pager. But wait, there's more, because we have this guy here also found on the same page. She's got 3 different files, and these are 2 of them. This is the same idea, but now you have a holster with Molly on it. So this, I keep 2 of these on my travel backpack, like my computer bag basically, where I keep all my my microphones and my computer, chargers, cables, all that stuff, just, you know, your travel backpack. So I have these on that. So one on one side, one on the other. You got Mesh Core, you got Meshtastic, all on your Molly. All very easy to 3D print. They stand up, they print great. This is how they print standing up just like that. They print great, and they're awesome. Thank you very much, Alleycat. I love these. Next from Maker World, we have this wire winder by Sunset Rider. This is made for the JPC-12 antenna. For the radials for that are these ribbon cables. And if you have this antenna, you know these ribbon cables can be a mess. So he made this. I don't have it complete because I don't have any doingy stretchy cord. But basically the idea, he shows putting a rubber band around the ends here. And we're going to start with the ends. So we're actually going to loop them in this little tab that he has created here. Presumably it's a he. And we're going to put those in there thusly. And then we can just continue to wind this ribbon cable on the wire winder for the JPC-12, even though I did that part wrong. And then once you have it all wound up, I just opted to get one of these small little elastic things that I have. And you wrap it this way so you can attach this part to the antenna and just walk out with it. Go ahead and cinch that up. And now we have nice, tidy radials for our JPC-12 antenna. Very, very thoughtful, very useful. And finally, again on Maker World from Papa_Lopez, we have the Icom 7300 protective dust cover. He even thought to put my call sign on it. Just kidding, that's how it actually comes, but I added my call sign to it. So what this is just a nice little screen protector for your Icom 7300, or in my case, the 7300 Mark II. It just snaps right into place, looks beautiful, protects your screen, and it slides off very easily. Underneath, we can see we have 2 little kind of nubs or notches, whatever, that are going to conform to the sides of the screen there. Again, slides on very easily, slides off very easily. There's a little tab there you can grab to help you take it off. But that is now a permanent fixture for my Icom 7300 Mark II. So thank you very much, Papa Lopez, for creating this. This is freaking awesome. So there we have it, 12 useful 3D prints for ham radio. Again, I will leave links to all of these in the description below. Thank you again to all the creators. And in the meantime, my name is Mike K at MRD. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Tube 73.